cover me. Stop. I saw single.
Thinking about it.
I mean, what?
I don't like you.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Pick it up, baby. Pick it up. Here, pick a card. I'll tell your future. Come on.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Joe the Psychologist. What's good, brother?
I am good. Glad to be back on getting another episode of the Comic Spot in and some more reading. You know, you're getting me to read again. I'll put it that way.
That's good, man. I encourage everyone to go out and read. I mean, I should do more reading myself. I've been getting into like books lately. You know, a bunch of my friends got Radar the Board, my man. I try to read his stuff. He got me into reading books again. But yeah, man, we are the Comic Spot. I am Ricky Van. This is Joe the Psychologist. It is August 23rd, 2026. Joe, how you doing, bro? What's good?
I am good. I actually have a nice belly full of I made Reuben sandwiches for dinner tonight. And when I was up there last week visiting you guys,
My man said Reuben sandwiches.
I wanted a Reuben while I was up there, so I never got it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and like make my own Reuben sandwich right now.
I don't even know what a Reuben sandwich is, bro.
It's basically a corned beef sandwich.
Oh, okay. My girl would not like that. She hates corned beef.
No, it's
I like corned beef.
It's not the canned corned beef.
Rice,
it's like
with
it's
some
the
rice.
no, not that type of corned beef.
Legit,
It's the meat.
Legit.
It's the brisket. I made a brisket. I slow cooked it for 24 hours. Oh yeah, no, I went all out. Other than that, been waiting to sip some beer with my bro here.
Me too. I do want to preface before we start. I've been having computer issues. I'm gonna get it resolved. So if you see any technical difficulties on my end, that's what it is. I am aware of it. Unfortunately, I apologize for that. And Joe the Psychologist, are you ready for this one? We're going to be talking about, we got some good stuff here. We're going to be starting off the show with lanterns, but then we're going to dip into, later on in the show, I want to get Joe's reaction. He read the very first arc, the very first volume of Absolute Wonder Woman, The Last Amazon, and we're going to dip into the finale of X-Men 97. We got to speak about the last 2 episodes and where we go from there, but that'll be a little bit later. But I want to get into the meat and the potatoes here. I just watched it again. Lanterns, I'll be honest, I'll jump the shark right now. I really did enjoy this series. I went in a little uneasy about things, like, oh man, like I heard bad things, but I swear I do not like. I don't look for it, man. You go anywhere.
It's the headlines. You scroll. It's the headline. The minute you see the name of something that you're ready to scroll up faster, you'll be able to avoid it that way.
Exactly. And I want to say too, I am not the most knowledgeable on the Green Lantern, but my man Joe is, so that's why I'm glad he's here. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it so much, because all the purists were saying that's not Hal Jordan. He don't act like that. They got this wrong. They got that wrong. But I don't look at it that way. I always go into a movie or a show. It's like. Imagine if everybody went into like the Ultimate line, the original one, or the Absolute line, and saying, this isn't my Batman. This isn't my Spider-Man. What is this? It's supposed to be different. This is a different take. They said it was supposed to be like a true detective kind of vibe to the show, where that's pretty cool. But Joe, before we get into the show, the episode titled Pilot, which is apropos for the subject matter. But Joe, give us a quick rundown about Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, the mythology of the Ring. Anything you want to get us started with? Just basic knowledge for anyone who is not up to speed with Green Lantern.
All right, so Hal Jordan has been around not as long as Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, but he is pretty much up there. There is another Green Lantern. He was created in 1940, and that's Alan Scott. However, he's a different type of Green Lantern. They introduced in the Silver Age Hal Jordan in 1959 and in 1968 Guy Gardner. Believe it or not, Guy Gardner was actually the original successor to Hal Jordan. So when Aben's aircraft crashed and it called
I've
out
been sure, right?
Abin Sur. Sorry, let me make sure I know I talk about. I'm sorry because as a person who collect the comics, I speak in it like I'm speaking to somebody who knows. I apologize. When Abin Sur, when he crashed and the ring called out, it actually called out for both of them. But Hal was the one that was the closest, and he became the Green Lantern. The Guardians did decide on having a successor should anything happen, and that is how Guy Gardner eventually became the successor. He was then injured in an accident, and during the Bronze Age, that's when they introduced John Stewart, and that was in 1971. The issue that had come out, it was a December-January issue, so that's why if you look at the print in for it, it's going to say 1971, 1972. But he was introduced in. And yes, up until this point, they say that there's only two. Well, we know they kind of we should have known something was going to be up if you get to 2026, because if Guy Gardner is still around, people should have automatically known that between John Stewart and Hal Jordan, one of them might not be around. So
Interesting, but real quick, you're talking about the show now, right?
yes, like
Because
if you know your comic book knowledge and
only
how the
one,
rings
is that what
go,
you're saying. But
that-
it's interesting because well, Superman took place in 2025, correct? The story.
Yep.
So Hal had the ring already. I mean, Guy had the ring already.
Yep.
But Hal presumably was murdered in 2026.
Right.
So if he was still around in 2025, how did Guy have the ring?
Because there was 2 rings issued at that point.
We'll
So
just have actually
in the-
tonight.
I'm
It's
sure-
episode 2, so
Yeah.
hopefully we get. I can't
We'll
wait.
find
to go
out.
back.
But yes,
All
no,
right.
but eventually, that's what I'm saying. Guy Gardner. Eventually, the Guardians decided to have 2 Earthlings as Lantern, and both of them had their rings.
Nice.
When Guy Gardner got injured, John Stewart didn't get Hal's ring. John Stewart got Guy Gardner's ring. So that's how John Stewart became the Green Lantern. Hal
Didn't know
Stewart
that.
at this point
Interesting.
hadn't died. That's how John Stewart became the successor, becoming Hal's successor at that point, because he took the spot of Guy Gardner. Since then, now once we got into the modern age, the number has gone up from 3 to 6, because you have Kyle Rayner, who was introduced in 1994, Simon Boz in 2012, and Jessica Cruz in 2014.
There's
There
another. Sojourn.
Yes,
Oh,
he
Jesus
is.
Christ. Joe. They call her Joe, an absolute Green Lantern. She's the main character, but Majorner. So Majorner is that's what
Yeah, I couldn't say. I know what you're saying, but as far as in the mainstream, that's what the ones. But yes, there are actually 2 other ones. I think there's going to be.
I just want to
to
make sure I don't got my information wrong, because
No. But if you listening in them in Prime Earth, Earth 1, these are your now American Earthling Green Lanterns, which leads us to the series where they have been saying for years there's been a hero who decided in what was it, 1996, that he was finally going to introduce himself. And I loved that's how the series started, was the introduction of Hal Jordan in such a normal way. It wasn't the one thing that I will say about the series off the bat, and no pun intended, because the Green Lanterns are space cops, essentially. You've grounded the Green Lanterns and it kept it on Earth. And you're getting to see Hal Jordan using his policing abilities that he uses in the comics being used here. Just, he says it, I'm a regular guy. So he's doing everything as a regular person, only using the ring when necessary. And that's kind of what I liked about it so far. We'll go back and forth, but at the introduction in the beginning, how they show him that he's just a regular guy, I was like, this is awesome, because then as it kept on going, I totally felt Hal.
Let me ask you before we proceed, what are the differences between comic Hal and the way Hal was portrayed in the pilot episode here?
So funny you add that, because without jumping to what happens in the end, the comic book Hal kind of went through a period where he wasn't as happy, and like he was kind of like this Hal, not as gruff, but he was kind of like this Hal, and it led to a subsequent other storylines. I'll touch base on the end, but if you read the comic books, this is kind of what Hal was, before a big event ended up happening in the comics that changed him forever.
Okay. All right, well, let's dive in. You already got it started. The pilot starts, or it's called Pilot. Episode 1 starts with, in 1996, a young Jon Stewart and his siblings. Jon Stewart.
Stewart.
For some reason, never mind.
The other Jon Stewart.
yeah. A young Jon Stewart with his siblings are watching that news broadcast when House, presumably not too long prior to this, came out as the Green Lantern. That he said, his name, how he became the Green Lantern, why he became the Green Lantern, and how he became the Green Lantern. Not in great detail, but enough there to kind of whet your appetite. But then, his dad comes in. He's in the military. They're afraid of him, but I don't think Jon Stewart's afraid of him. As you can tell, his siblings were. But let's start from there, man. Like, I love how it started in 1996. It established Jon Stewart already of being not afraid and having no fear. And I love how when his dad places the apple on his head and he's shooting it, I love how you see all the bullet holes from the very bottom.
Years.
It goes all the way up, so you can tell he's been doing this for a long time, man.
Now, do you remember? Do you remember the
that.
character in literature that did that?
No, give me
William Tell shot the apple off the kid's head. That's it in literature.
Where's it from? Oh, but what's the name of the story?
What?
It's just a literary character.
Yeah,
Okay.
William Tell. William Tell is another way of looking at Green Arrow.
Oh yeah, Ali is my boy.
Green Arrow, and Hal Jordan for a period there used to have a comic book series together. So I loved in the beginning doing that, because you think of the William Tell story, and then all of a sudden you're like, Green Arrow. I'm like, they just gave a little nod to Green Arrow right in the beginning.
I can see that. I like that, and I love how it jumped to 2016, like 20 years later, and we got Jon Stewart waiting. He's waiting to get picked up by Hal. Hal Jordan comes in his jalopy, he's hungover. He don't give a fuck. Take us from there, man. So if you want to give us how you felt so far leading into wherever you want to take the conversation to. Go ahead.
All right. So what I had liked when he showed up, because I watched it twice, and the first feeling that I got is Hal Jordan's a Gen Xer.
Why you say that?
Because he would be our age. So imagine us having done this for 40 years. We would be grumpy. We started out all happy at first, but we would be short, crass, straight. I'm that way now. I'm blunt. Testing him by jumping out of the car and making the car. I wouldn't have done that. I would have gone a little less if I was going to do a test, but
a little extreme. A little
extreme. But it was
he believed in John, though. He knew he would.
He did, and that's the whole thing, though. But Hal is relying on. That's why when they're at the taco stand, and I loved also when the guy asked him about why only wear the suit on special occasions, and he gave I forget the metaphor.
Great answer, by the way.
But he's saying that when you're younger, you wear a tie because you want to impress. And then as you get older, he goes, and wiser, and gives John a look and a pause. He goes, then you realize ties are annoying. That is like I said, for me, that's a Gen X answer. So I was like, fucking Hal is just a 53-year-old superhero.
Chandler? He's in his 50s, right?
Yeah, I would put him in his maybe, yeah, actually. Maybe look it up, but yeah, I would say, and they're doing the character, in his 50s, which is another thing that
he bounces in between. Yeah, you could tell this show's gonna bounce between eras. So, and by the way, Kyle Chandler, I've always liked him a lot. I thought he was great as Hal Jordan. This version of Hal, he was so good. He really carried. Not to say, Aaron Pierre is his name. He was really good too, man.
Now, do you know what he did before?
Oh man, I know he's familiar, but if you tell me, I would probably know.
A very sadly quickly canceled sci-fi series called Krypton, in which
I've never seen that.
Oh yeah, dude, it was really good. It told.
I heard of it though, yeah.
But it was Jor-El and Zod. He played Zod.
I seen him somewhere, man. But yeah, but they played off of each other really well, and their chemistry was off the
Yes,
charts.
that's what
And
I
going
really like
back,
too.
right, let's rewind a bit to the before Jordan makes it to the taco stand after he escapes death by grabbing the ring the last minute and last second. And just creating a what do you call it, a bubble, like
He did a
a
bubble
bubble
wrap.
wrap or something. So he survived. He walks all the way back, but on the way over there, he triggers the ring, and this hologram comes out.
That's
And
an
I love
awesome.
how I really loved how that must have been like a '90s Jordan, I would assume, right? He was younger, no grade. I love how Hal looked different every era to show the progression of time. So I loved how he was, and he said it. Your younger version or whatever he said was a lot nicer, and the way he was surprised, like, wait a minute, I'm not teaching you this stuff. Like, I love that because that's gonna tell us now with all these episodes to come, we're gonna see why how Jordan got into the funk he's in, and he's being kind of lackadaisical with he can't fly. He never explained what backing up the lantern consciousness into this cloud, let's say. He didn't explain any of that. He doesn't know the ins and outs yet. He doesn't know anything yet, and he's been there for like 5 months. He's been saying training under house. So I really
Two
like
months.
that. 2 months, okay.
Yeah.
I like that they didn't have to really go far. Like, they didn't have to tell you, like, hold your hand and tell you this, but it's just by that younger Hal, the way he reacted to, like, wait, how do you not know this? Wait, I'm not teaching you this. And Jordan never really threw him under the bus and was like, no, he's terrible, nothing like that. But he was just like saying, like, what do you think? Like, he looked around like, if I could fly, would I be walking? I love that. I love how they don't gotta spell everything out for you. They let the characters, their their facials and their mannerisms and just their surroundings, the way they interact with everything, tell you that. That's pretty
But
cool.
he respects Hal because John respects his father
Yeah,
for the way he
dude.
treated him. So the way that Hal
Fearless.
is treating John is how his father treated him. So it's no different.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other part when he's like, seriously, you're not gonna be mad that I showed up late? Like, he's like, I would be mad. And he's like, no, sir. He's like, why is every time you say sir, I feel like it's a fuck you? Then he does the sir. And
Yeah,
I'm
the way he
like,
said it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
but it was like again, I think everybody was hoping you were gonna get, suits and space and everything. But don't we always have that?
Yeah.
And then you were gonna get that, and what were you
The
gonna do?
show.
You were gonna criticize the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You were gonna go, the CGI is horrible, costumes this. They decided to ground it. I actually appreciate the little amount of CGI being used for these special effects. I know we're gonna get some more down the line. I did go ahead and watch the previews for the season. I just at least wanted to see that. So I know that you're gonna see more use of the ring, but why would you not want to see something different? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Why if you're gonna quickly just go into the comic book versions, then you're gonna be going, oh well, they took it from this storyline. Oh, and then you're gonna be upset, like I will say sometimes I am when we talk about X-Men, when the storylines are changed. So they're giving you something fresh. You know what they're showing you, as I said earlier, they're space cops. All right. They investigate. They do like research. They do
Yes.
everything to solve a crime. What did I mean? So do you just really want to see people just using power rings and making structures, constructs all the time? No, you should have want some story so you can be all involved in it.
Yeah.
That it's not just like, a bunch of special effects with some fluffer in between there.
Really, really good. I love how you mentioned that. Give me this. I'd rather take a grounded story, right, with minimal CGI, because it's a TV show. If you do everything in space and aura and all that, bringing all that shit in it, that it's gonna be not good because of the budget. So grounded,
Yeah.
but just give me two good. Give me a cast of great
Sorry.
actors. We have like Kyle Chandler Aaron Pierre, right? Kelly MacDonald, which I really do like a lot, and we got Garrett Dillahunt, man.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
didn't know
Jason
he was.
Ritter.
I was gonna say this, bro. When Jason Ritter walked in as the fucking lawyer, I lost my shit. I'm like, my guy. I love his dad.
Me too. And
Three's
I love
Company,
him. I love
I
him
grew up
too.
with Three's Company, and when I first saw Jason Ritter and Freddy vs. Jason, I'm like, oh man, this dude can't act. Oh no, but yo, he stuck with it. He was really good in this. Like, what? I haven't really seen him much after, but I've always had a soft spot because of his dad. But I want to go back again. The director is James Hawes for this. That's his name. He directed 2 Black Mirror episodes, Joe.
Nice.
Hated by the Nation, which was season 3. That's Kelly MacDonald was actually in that one.
Yeah.
That was the one with the bees, right?
Yep.
And
Yes.
yeah, and he also did Smithereens in season 5 with the cab driver. So he's pretty good. So to go back to what to this conversation, yeah, I like how they have it grounded. It's good acting and it's telling us a story. Because the way you said they're space cops, let's take that, but let's bring it to Earth. And the way like everything Hal does is always through the lens of like investigations. He's always 3-4 steps ahead of everything. What up, Adam? Oh
Yeah,
shit,
Adam, what's
son.
up?
What's good?
Thank you for
Hey,
joining.
let me ask you: does that look different than what it does in Horror Fiend? The comments, the way they look, the bubbles.
I think it's probably going because of the way that
colors?
our colors.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Which is fine. That's
cool.
I know. I noticed that too.
I'm not complaining. I just interesting. But
and
yeah,
I will
dude, so
say-
go ahead.
And I will say I had wanted Adam to watch this, and I said, hey, we'll save it for the day we're doing the episode. And I told him nothing. I
Alright,
just
good.
said, hey, it's based on a comic book, and the look on his face.
He don't know
And
Green Lantern.
I mean, he knows, but the
He
thing is,
must
just
know
saying
who he is. Like,
he
he's a
knows.
comic
But
book character.
what I'm saying is just yet another.
Mm.
He's like, oh, another superhero type of show. And then our friend Nicole was over,
Yeah.
so I was like, all right, I'm gonna put this on, and they were like, all right, and both of them were just like all into it, and I'm like, so what do you guys think? And
The
Adam's
acting
like,
is-
I really like it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, because it's not like every superhero comic, every superhero TV show, right? He goes, yeah, because it had a story, it had characters, it's an investigation. So for the people who like true crime stuff, this is like going to be also up their alley.
Mhm.
So when you get two people who know, he knows who he is because he's seen it, but doesn't have an investment like people who collect comics do, who appreciate it, that's a really good sign, to be honest with you, because they did like the same thing. The
Mhm.
fact that it wasn't just a bunch of, fights and superpowers being used. You had these characters, and the fact that in that first episode, how much they all intertwined and everybody's connected. John fucking the grandma. I mean, damn.
Bro, my man had what a first episode Jon Stewart had, bro. Look at Joe. He fixed.
Sorry.
He did that shit backwards, bro.
I know. I hit click on it, and then the cough came out.
That's all good, brother. It's all good. So yeah. So chat me up then. So now, what was the hail? Was it falls in Nebraska? What was it called? The message that the hologram sent.
Hail's falling on. I forget what's the because
But-
he's thinking that aliens are because of where Abin Sur had crashed.
Yes, I like the way he explained that too. That he's a pilot and he knows
Yes.
the trajectory and all that shit. So he knew exactly where he was at.
So if you're going to want to crash somewhere where nobody's going to notice you, this is one of the
Yeah.
areas.
Speaking of John, like banging, the Megan's fucking wife. I love how when he was talking to her in the bar in the background, you see Hal getting his ass beat by those fucking rednecks.
And you know what's
so
funny
good.
is that when the song came on a second time, I'm like, this is what you do.
If you're
when
in a
you wanna
bar,
piss people off.
would you get upset if someone puts like the same cheesy song on repeat while you're trying to play some pool and drink some beer? Yeah?
I've done that when I've had people over for a party and I want to start trying to get
all
people
right,
to
all
leave.
right. Here we go,
I
here we
will
go,
I
here we
will
go.
I will play a song over and over and people are like, it's time to
I'll-
go.
If I'm gonna do that, I'll blast some Megadeth, yo. Let me put on some fucking. Let's put The Conjuring on. Scare
I
'em
kind of
away.
like the song you're playing though.
So, all right, man. So, continue. So, all right, we are now. So obviously, Macon, he asks Hal to come over to his house because he knows about the aliens. So anything you want to talk about, take it from there. Then you go rest of the show if you want.
What is going to be kind of interesting is the fact that a lot of these characters aren't in the comics that I can recall. So I'm getting something a little bit more fresh, but obviously, as they're pulling up and you're seeing that there's militia, that he's involved in some way or another. I mean, the sheriff, who is his daughter-in-law, is telling him, just go. I like what she goes, just fly out of here.
Just get
She
out
didn't even
of
say
here.
get in your car in here, just fly out of here. Which, by the way, yeah, if I was a superhero and I was training someone, I would have pulled that same move on John, when Hal goes pay the bill and he took off. And then then you see John in the car, in the plane, in the car. Because he had to like get there the hard way.
Yeah.
That's how you teach someone a lesson. You know what I mean? This is what I appreciate about
He
John's
could have
method.
grabbed John and fucking took off
No,
with him, but
dude,
no, he
he's-
let him walk.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Pay that
He's not-
bill,
he's
son.
not
Pay your
being soft
dues.
on him.
Yeah,
He's being tough on him.
yeah.
Like that's how you teach someone lesson. He's not beating him up
No,
or anything.
no.
But he's
Boy,
just
he
like
almost got
he's
him
making
killed
it
though,
work.
bro.
What? He gave him the ring to save, and and then when
Mind you,
he
the
said,
first time he used it, remember he said, "When am I gonna use the ring?"
well, he goes, what did you make for yourself? He goes, bubble wrap. He's like, oh, you're a smart one. He just dismissed his idea because Hal probably made a ball or something. You know what I mean? Bounced around, didn't protect himself. So he didn't like that John came up with a better way of surviving it and quickly dismissed it.
You would have got so nervous. You would have made like a mug of beer or something. Oh no!
Damn. I would have made wings.
Wings, yeah, but of course the analogy here is let's get these aliens off of our planet. All that's it's rooted in modern times, but I think it wasn't like all in your face, which is it's pretty cool. And plus the Green Lantern, it does fit with the story going in there. I really loved when Hal was interrogating the alien. I forgot his human name. But it's interesting because that actor is so good at being a slimy, at being such a slimy antagonist. You've seen this guy before. He was in The Walking Dead.
In The Walking Dead.
When Tyrese had him tied up and he was threatening Judith. Remember that? He was chewing the gum up. Like, oh, this actor is so good at making you want to. Oh! And this is the scene here that solidified this show to me. Like, okay, I could watch shit like this. Forget the big CGI scenes. Forget the big scale, like, alien invasions or attacks. Give me two good actors sitting across from each other and playing these mind games. And the fact that what caused them to out himself, other than Harry Potter, I've never seen Harry Potter. I've never read a book, but I know what Hogwarts was, so that's a pretty smart way to, of course he didn't want 10 minutes, he just needed 5. But when he mentioned Barack Obama and the fact that they're in Nebraska, instead of being, going into like, what I'm going to go.
He would, instead of going into the rant.
He just spit into the facts. Like,
yeah.
You are an alien. Like, oh my God.
That's where he fucked himself.
So that's where he fucked himself. So guys, talk to us about that.
I love that he used also, like, he was using pop culture references.
Smart.
That's another thing I would do. I mean, and he's true. Like, you would know your pop culture. So if you were a human being, even as you just finished saying, you don't know this, but you know who it is. You've heard of it. You can't get away from it. The aliens are being taught the specific things for where they're at, so that way if they're questioned, they have those answers. That's why he was throwing him off with the pop culture references. Another little aspect of this that I liked was that to throw him off, he used pop culture.
That was cool.
But yeah, I mean, so I'm trying to think of the guy.
I love when he blew everything up, and you see like Jason Ritter's kids come out. He came out. What the fuck was that? Everybody came out like, oh.
And that was a protected. That's how strong that bomb was. I mean, the whole town felt it, and it was still.
When he mentioned too, this is when Hal definitely knew, and then he was like, I say you've been here 48 hours. Don't you need to charge your bat, You gotta charge.
You gotta
It's
recharge
the
the
ring,
battery.
but how, they recharge it. Is it a lantern? Is it an actual? What is it? Well, the battery. What's it look like?
A giant lantern.
Exactly. So I was okay. So it was.
Yeah,
It is a lantern.
It's really a gigantic lantern.
So I liked how he had he went into the
see-
minutia of things, and he mentioned the Green Lantern's oath. That was
I love
good.
when he was saying it. I love that oath. It's too long to try to, but that's how you repower
Why do you
yourself.
think that's what got Hal to lose his shit? Why do you think that was though?
Honestly, I don't know, because I would probably see at this point that the reason Hal knew he had enough power is because he's not relying so much on it.
Mm-hmm.
Hal's only using it when he needs to. It's not like he's
Okay.
out there doing a bunch of things that have people.
My man fabricated he conjured up a bottle opener. Imagine
Bottle
bro,
opener. He
the way-
did a $20 bill.
I never looked at it this way because again, I read Absolute Green Lantern, and I do got the Green Lantern Rebirth from the early 2000s.
Good thing you say that, because I'm going to talk about that.
All right, cool.
Before right when we wrap up, it's going to be tied to the end of the
but
episode.
I'll say my piece here, then you could wrap it up. God dang, what the fuck? I lost my place. What the fuck? What's going on here, Joe? You playing some mind games?
While you're thinking of it, I'm just gonna again agree with what we've been saying, is that the series is a grounded series using a superhero has the ability to construct almost anything. If you collect the comics like I did, they can even do bullets that can kill people. I mean, it's limitless.
Oh,
to
that's what
they,
I was
they
gonna
can
say.
do.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many cool things you could do. Like the
Yes.
bottle opener, the money. It wasn't counterfeit. It was legit money. So.
And look at
wasn't
what Guy
fake.
Gardner did in the Superman movie.
Yeah. By the way, Guy Gardner is gonna appear in
He's gonna appear
this
in here.
series. So, you know what they said? I think it was Tom King. He's a writer right now for DC. He's one of the producers, I believe, here, showrunners. When they were talking, I don't know the context. If he was talking about the missing ring at the end of the episode from Hal, which we'll get into before we wrap up, but he says that the ring's missing, but Guy is the one that has it. I'm like, wait, why would he give that away? Maybe I gotta know the full context. Maybe it was taken out of context as far as the way they clip it on social media. I didn't. You watched the after show, you said, right?
No, I didn't watch that.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, you watched the trailer.
I just
never
watched
mind,
the
never
trailer
mind.
for the.
So anyway,
Yeah,
so that's what he said. I mean, come on, don't give it away. I mean, even though it's quite obvious because he has the ring in the Superman movie. So I just got to see how they get there. So I'm still interested.
There's no way it could be just one. The thing is,
because
there
he said
in the
Hal
comics, there is
Jordan
more
said
than one
last
ring.
thing that in the show, not in the book, but in the canon in the show, Hal said that the only way that John's gonna get the ring is when I die. So that means there's gonna only be one Lance. How does Guy have it if this guy? Whatever, I don't know. It's
they'll
confusing.
have to. Yeah,
but-
they're gonna if they're
We'll
gonna.
see.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, so
And
you
then-
could wrap us up on this one. Let's tell
well,
us,
then you have the ending where basically now we're to 2026 and we're finding Hal Jordan is dead. And I'm really hoping that that's not going to be the case. I feel really sorry for Kyle Chandler because he is becoming what's the name of the guy that damn it, from Game of Thrones, the
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
I wouldn't look at it that
Sean
way.
Bean,
No, because think about
he's
it.
done other shows where he has died in the first episode.
No, but what I mean is this. I get what you're saying, but I think the way this show is structured, if it follows the same structure as this, they're gonna be playing with time. They're gonna be jumping around. So perhaps we're still gonna get plenty of how it's gonna lead up to how Hal got to where he ended up in this episode. That's how I took it. I hope that's what it is. I don't want to lose Kyle Chandler so early.
In the comics, Hal's character, and you can, when I say this, your brain might go, oh shit. His character was through the years the only one to have aged. Through Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. He started out without the temples
because the phalanx,
and
right?
as the year went on, well, before that, as the years went on, he had the gray right
the
before
Richards
that.
look, yeah.
And then when Coast City was destroyed, he went insane. and he became the Parallax.
Parallax. That's a phalanx.
And then he
Parallax.
died. And then when he was reborn again, you got the rebirth.
Yep.
When rebirth came around, the silver was gone.
Yeah. Yep.
His character in the comics went through slowly as the years went by. More just changes started happening, that when they tied it into the reign of Superman and had Mongol and Cyborg Superman destroy Coast City to basically break Hal, and Hal destroying the Guardians, the Green Lantern Corps, and then becoming Parallax, and then going against everyone, dying. He comes back as the Spectre and then is reborn.
Yeah.
So could him dying at that in the end just be leading to the Hal Jordan character
It could
being reborn, and then Kyle Chandler could just look like, his normal younger self as the series goes on. It's just a little, I mean, as a comic book person, I have to include some of the stuff
It's
that
fascinating because
it's happened in the comics.
They got actual comic writers working on this, so I would assume they're gonna.
Something has to be able to there's no fucking way that that this is it, that Kyle Chandler is done as Hal Jordan, because then you can't ever recast the role throughout, and you're essentially eliminating one of the key Justice League. Yeah, no, there's no way. This is just one of those, like, something. It's gonna be something else. It has to be.
It's interesting because when Jon Stewart. By the way, how cool did Jon Stewart look with the goatee? And he looked like Jon Stewart to me.
He looked like Jon Stewart.
Great casting. But when he discovered Hal's body, you see the tear going down his eye. I mean, and the way, I just love stuff like that. Very minute. Yeah. But I was gonna say, the last thing I'm gonna get at, how familiar are you with the Red Lanterns?
Very. Atronicus is coming. I know that.
So, do you think the aliens that we're talking about here that are on Earth, does that has anything to do with the Red Lanterns? Because that one alien that blew himself up, the last thing he said was vengeance. Isn't vengeance like part of something with the Red Lanterns? So when they add verbiage like that, it's for a reason. So do you think that's where they're going? That's my last question I want to get to.
Yeah. That's why I said
would know more about that.
Atronicus is coming.
So who do you think he's gonna be Atronicus on Earth, or they're gonna go?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So these aliens, are they in disguise? But they look like they must be, right? I mean,
unfortunately
who made
somehow I don't know exactly what outlet I saw it, but I saw the.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's why I said when he goes vengeance, I was like, dude, right at that point, which again, you saw how strong that thing was. The ring is powered, yes, through the energy, but most of it relies on the will of the bearer.
Mm-hmm.
So when Hal put his hands on it to keep it more concentrated, he was using his willpower at that point to strengthen that small dome that he put in for the explosion. So I thought that was a nice little touch to put in there.
Yeah.
That he's not just standing there with a ring like this, that he putting his hands on there. It's him putting himself on there and his willpower to contain that explosion. So that was a small, pretty cool touch, I have to say, that they did on that.
Last question. I wanna hear your opinion on this. What do you think? Because in this episode, right before the ending came, we had Hal had Jon Stewart explain to the sheriff Kerry Kane, how there's like 14, I think, or 14 or 6, something like that, different aliens right now that they know of that can pretty much shapeshift and replicate human DNA and this and that. They added that in there for a reason. Now, what are the chances, in your opinion, that the Hal Jordan we saw at the end wasn't really Hal? Again, no ring on him, but could that have been some kind of ploy, or
could be, or like, could be a ploy,
a red herring or something?
Yeah, because somebody actually might have Hal Jordan prisoner.
The fact that they do that in there, and again, the timelines, in my opinion, don't match. Because Superman, when Guy was there, was 2025. This was 2026. again, unless they're gonna explain it, what you said, they changed the rules. Remember, because there was a one point when his hologram was talking. I say hologram, hologram or whatever, his cloud version, when his backup was talking to John, and he said, he pretty much said that, what was the exact line that he said? Ah, man, I hate when this happens. When he was talking to him. Let me get it. My throat's dry. Give me a second. What are you laughing at, motherfucker?
It's not Cottonmouth, so.
Fucking Joe, you look at you, bro. Just looking at you makes me laugh, bro.
What you trying to say? You trying to say I'm funny looking? Are you
No,
saying
man.
I'm funny looking?
Bro, I'm just trying
Is
to
that what you're
buy
saying?
time until I remember what the
Is
fuck I was
Is that what
trying
you're
to
saying?
say.
Are you saying
bro.
I'm funny looking, motherfucker? Dude, don't you know I'm just trying to do Joe Pesci Goodfellas there?
Oh, I thought you were doing something from Quentin Tarantino, bro. I thought you
That's
were-
Goodfellas.
I saw that movie a couple times.
Oh my god, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was weird for me. I'm not like movies like that, like those really pervasive. All those movies are just nothing but bad language. All I remember is fucking Samuel L. Jackson getting fucking murked.
Wow, he fucked up.
But yeah, anyway, what were we talking about, man? See, I
You were trying your last thought on.
What was I trying to say?
Your last thought on Lantern.
about the ship shifting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If that's probably not Hal at the end there. And
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good.
No,
chance it's
because
not.
because again, like, guy has the ring. That's established, right? I need to know the timeline, so I hope we do get that. But I was trying to say something that the hologram told. Fucking anyway, whatever. Let's move on from this. But anyway, I really did enjoy Lanterns. It was a really good episode. I hope the series. How many episodes is this? Do you know? 9. So
Yep.
HBO standard. So I hope this retains the high quality that this episode had. Again, I don't need all this action. Give me just great dialogue and acting and intrigue, and I'm all in. I mean, what else do I got to say? How about you? What's your overall
Same.
thoughts on it?
I loved it. I loved
Yeah.
it. I watched it the second time and loved it even more the second time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
So-
what are you hoping for the next episode to establish?
I mean, obviously to find out with Hal what happened. But I do want to start seeing more of the training of
Yeah.
John, because at some point in between here,
Mhm.
John would have had more training.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly,
which
yeah.
could, that's what I'm saying. So at some point, that's why I say I think Atronicus is going to show up. And you'll see the more of the fights in there. But I want it to be a little bit, if we're going to flesh this out, and if I think their last name is Macon.
Yeah,
Garrett's-
Macon. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
That they actually be
William, I
they
think.
don't make up some
William, yeah.
alien race, that it's an alien race canon in DC Comics. That's the only thing I'm hoping.
Yeah,
that-
me too. I don't want don't make nothing up for the show. Yeah.
Well, and I
just
was trying to remember. I think
don't
it's
do that.
because as I was reading last night, Crisis, I was looking back through some of the events, but there is one race that are shapeshifters, and it would make sense that you would have shapeshifters as basically all being here,
Oh.
living as.
Got you. This is what I was trying to say when Hal Jordan said that oh no, like when he mentioned that, oh, you're older Hal is training me, and then Hal was like, no, that's impossible. You're from the same Earth sector. We don't do that. And John said to him, no, they do now. So this establishes that the rules somewhere down the line did change. Maybe
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm
somewhere
saying.
it changed. I mean, you mentioned how more
did.
than one
That's-
person can wield
Yes.
the
Well,
ring.
no,
So there
there's
you
more
go.
than they're not.
Yes.
There's
they
more
added
than
that in there
one
for a
ring. I
reason.
know, but I'm saying there's not one ring. There are 2 rings.
Of course. Yeah.
It's all right now. Even though it's not comics, there's, for Earthlings, there's 6 rings, but at this point, only 2 rings exist, and
Perfect.
Guy has his, and Hal has his. So if Guy has the ring, it's only because he was alerted that something happened to Hal and may have shown up.
Yeah.
In
So
that
what
moment-
sector would Guy be at? So all right, then
He's
what
the
I'm
same.
trying to
Earth?
yeah,
but
they established only one Green Lantern per sector, not more. That's what I was.
But
trying
they
to say.
changed that.
That.
But
Okay,
they-
so
because Earth, it's attacked the most.
yeah,
They
I'm
realized
glad.
that Earth needed more of the lanterns on there
Perfect.
because it's the most attacked planet by the universe.
That strengthens my point that they added that line in there. That no, that's changed. They changed
Mhm.
that. So now we know the rules can change.
Right.
Let's see.
The rules
Cool. All
did
right, man.
change.
They did change. There you go. Present. Joe, what do you want to tackle next? I'm gonna give you. I'm
X-Men,
gonna give
we'll
you
do
the
X-Men
option. Let's
97.
do X-Men. Let's do X-Men.
That's
All
what
right.
X-Men. Yeah.
All right. So X-Men 97. Dead Man's Hand, I believe, was the name of episode. What was it?
Mhm.
7. Let me grab
8.
my notes real quick. 8.
Episode
Oh,
8.
there was
Yep.
9, right?
Yep.
So all right, Dead Man's Hand. So this is when Gambit goes back to the Bayou to Louisiana. We see the Thieves and Assassins Guild. We see Belladonna returns. His brother Bobby is there. He turns them all into his minions essentially. But I'll be honest, the one thing that really stood out to me in this episode was how fucking badass Nightcrawler was.
Yeah,
he
he fucked
bodied
everyone
the
up.
if he could always do that, why doesn't he ever do Jesus
Yeah,
Christ?
he fucked everybody up.
So yeah, what's your thoughts on this episode here?
Well, I mean, like
The penultimate.
what I liked about this is because when you have the way that the last 2 episodes play out, you first have X-Force and X-Men team up to find Gambit, because Cable finds the dead body of Apocalypse and brings it to them. And so now you have the X teams teaming up to then fight Gambit and the guilds, which he turns them into his minions, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's already he's death. He's one of the 4 horsemen of Apocalypse. But
I think it's part of to do is because he's got Apocalypse's conscience in him.
Oh, that's right. Apocalypse
So that's
used him
part
as
of
the vessel.
his power,
Yeah,
to be able to turn them. So
Gotcha.
so the only thing that I will say, I and I don't know if it's actually wasn't this episode, is that I didn't recall that External was created from a portion of Apocalypse. I collected the X-Men comics, and I did actually, but it's been so long that I'm not going to 100% rely on my memory. I remember the External in the comics. By the time they introduced her, I was still collecting it.
90s,
I
right?
just don't recall her being tied to Apocalypse. Using that for storyline purpose so that Rogue could get that portion of it, and then therefore
they changed a lot.
I mean that's the only thing that
don't go crazy trying to make it make sense, bro.
Yeah, like that was the only part that I was like, I don't remember this in the comics. But other than that, no, I liked the episode because, as you said, it showed the X teams all get together at that point because you had Storm and Wolverine and them at the mansion. Because remember, we have X Corps now. So Professor X, some of them are in Genosha. Then you have the mansion. Then they all show up together. So it was a cool shot to see X-Force and the full X-Men. But yes, then Nightcrawler kicked all their asses. So, that was
he was throwing hands, bro. Bro, that tells you how in I think it was episode 2, the X-Force episode, how awesome they made Jubilee and how awesome she can be, but they don't ever do that. Here, same with Nightcrawler, like the way he just took out, and it's plausible. I'm talking about Jean Grey's psych. He was punching fucking Jean.
Yeah.
I think it was Jean punching in the face. Like he took out everybody, bro. That was
it
cool.
made me feel like the Fox movie where he went into the White House and just kept.
Oh,
nobody
that was
could
great.
stop him.
That was great.
It made me think of that.
Yeah, that was great.
His capability of the way he can just keep going and take people out left and right. So I did like that, and that it ended up the fact that Apocalypse, which goes into episode 9.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
go
not
into
Apocalypse. Cable. His whole mission is to stop Apocalypse, and he is fully aware that. Sorry, you're gonna hear my beer crack here.
I love that sound. Don't apologize for that.
He is fully aware that the conscience is now in Apocalypse, and he's allowed Professor X to take Gambit because they're not going to kill one of their own. And Val Cooper shows up, so now we're gonna have X-Force team up with X Factor to now go after the X-Men to get Gambit. And then when we go into episode 9, you've got Beast, Nightcrawler, and Rogue going to find Ship. I love that Ship is being used so much in this. Like when I collected X Factor, with almost a lot of things have Jarvis. you have all these other AI things that have helped out certain individuals, and Ship was a big part of like the X Factor. So having her, be still play and help them, even though she is a minion essentially of Apocalypse,
Mm-hmm.
but she is so ready to just go, sure, I can't do it for you, but here's your answer. And then now tying the fact that the Celestials, and in this one, Isan, created Apocalypse because Apocalypse needs to be. I'm sitting there going, all right, so now we got the Celestials being a part of this,
They added the Celestials. Yeah, that's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
I thought it was a little.
Yeah, now you know that. Like, come on, man. Like, one of the major criticisms from this series or this season, especially, was that they try to add so much shit
Too
into
many.
one episode, and
Dude.
now you're taking stuff that's not even like X-Men mythology. Yes, it's in the same universe, but Celestials, I wouldn't. Like, you read more X-Men than me, obviously, back in like the 90s.
Again,
Was the Celestials ever big?
I do
like,
not recall the Celestials creating Apocalypse.
The X Factor run you talking about, that's the original from the 90s.
Original.
Yep. Louis Simpson.
Yeah. Which I love when Siren showed up, because Chan popped in.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
when Siren showed up, I'm like, dude, they're really doing the X Factor. So
well, but you're talking about the original X Factor when they had the original X-Men lineup, or when the second generation with like Polaris and Multiple Man, and which one you talk when you read?
X Factor. All right, so I read both. I read X Factor when
Say no more. Yeah,
when the X-Men were no longer the OGs, it was the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
The OGs became X Factor.
They became X Factor. They worked for the government.
And then X Factor with Strong Guy, Wolfsbane, Siren, Multiple Man, Havoc, Polaris. So yes, I collected both runs. Actually, I think it was all one run.
See, that's the problem I'm having though. They added the X Factor, and that team is awesome, but they didn't really do anything as far as personality. They rarely talk. Havoc that's Cyclops' brother. They haven't even touched that.
They don't really, and
I like Polaris. I like they took her and put her on the X-Men. That's awesome. I like that. That's different as far as
we didn't even get Scott.
But yeah,
meeting with damn it, what is Havoc's real name?
Who?
Havoc. What's his first name?
Alex.
We didn't see Scott going to Alex and say, "Our father's alive."
No,
I met him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Very
weird that you wouldn't put. And I already told you.
But
the
they
one thing I
already
didn't
met
like
in
is
the
that
original.
they rushed
why,
through storylines.
They do. They added.
They put like they rushed through Inferno.
Look at that one Wolverine story, right? It had the fucking Wolverine and with the Brood storyline. When he fucking the one I'm talking about the one when he had the classic Mark Silvestri. You can remember that, like they added. I don't know, man. They're doing a lot of storylines of shoehorning into it to be cool.
And I think and the other
the comments
especially since we're sorry, thank you.
Spotters.
One also, spotters.
What the fuck the spotters? What's a spotter? What up? We're not. It's early, brother.
Not yet.
It's early. It's early, man.
I am about to ask for my third shot.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. Say it.
Also, say Apocalypse 3 times really fast, Joe. Apocalypse, Apocalypse, Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. I always think of the X-Men.
Wrong?
I'm talking about the original X-Men 90s cartoon, the original. I forgot what character it was, but they always said Apocalypse, like Apocalypse. I don't know. I forgot. As a kid, I always repeated that shit. I forgot who it was, but what one?
But what's that one? But yeah, getting back. The thing is, I just the way that they chose to wrap it up.
Let's get into the finale because I'm gonna say it right now. I was not a fan of that. I don't. You can tell. I thought they were going to go to Onslaught, and you can tell there was.
It's funny. I
some
think you
disconnect
mentioned this
somewhere,
before.
bro. But they had a layup for Onslaught right there, bro, and they didn't take it. They turned Gambit into some weird. I hate that.
So,
I didn't like that.
But Gambit did become Death in the comics.
Yeah, but not like that though. He didn't look like that.
Well, no, because in this one, it was really Apocalypse's powers that he was using.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a big difference. I didn't like Celestial Rogue. I don't know, just the way that. Hold on, one also great. Now he's gonna appear. You dick.
Who's
Because he
appearing?
no, now I got it. Because he made me say Apocalypse 3 times the way you say
Oh,
Candyman 3 times.
Candyman.
I gotcha. I am pre Blackest Night. I have about 390 Greenland. Oh,
Oh wow!
nice.
So my
Damn.
man, God, you're up there with Joe.
Damn
There.
it. I wish you would have came on here a little
See,
before
I
when
am
we were
post.
talking about
I'm
Lantern.
post Blackest Night because I got all those. Dude, one of my favorite Green Lantern books is I saw Jeff Johns, I believe, wrote it. It has Killer King Shark on the cover, and it starts off with like there's this straight out of Jaws. I'm deviating a little bit. I'm sorry, but they had a couple swimming in the ocean, just like Jaws, and the boyfriend gets fucking eaten alive, and King Shark goes on shore, and his girlfriend's in the bikini like ah. And you see the guy's arm hanging off King Shark's fucking mouth. Like, ah, it's the next issue, King. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck was? Anyway, but yeah, I'm after. I got all Blackest Night. I got the entire series. Got all
So
that.
do I.
And like I said, Rebirth. But anything before that, nah, that ain't me.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry. I just had to
collected
bring
the
that
other
up.
ones.
Got Joe.
But yeah, so I just thought the fact that Rogue just showed up and just crushed him. I was like,
Very
man,
lame. I was.
what the hell?
How the,
Like I was
um,
expecting, I don't know. I'm not it sucks because it just feels like it wasn't
the quality just did to the last episode. I don't know what
like
happened.
the last episode. It was like, okay, how are we going to stop Apocalypse? All right, let's come up with this way. We'll say that he was created by the Celestials, and only the Celestials can give someone the power to then go ahead and be able to kill him. And you know,
So you
like,
didn't need
and the
all that.
worst part is that the episode before this, you got the kick-ass Nightcrawler for him to be the one to sacrifice himself. So
Yeah.
now next season we don't
He's
have
gone. No,
Nightcrawler.
no
He's
Nightcrawler.
gone.
No,
Like
no
you
Nightcrawler.
guys killed off Nightcrawler.
He was one of the coolest characters. One of the coolest characters, not just here, but in comics. That even to this day, because I'm caught up. I'm reading Uncanny X-Men now, which he's on the team. Barely you. I mean, he's got a little storyline because he's got a girlfriend, but as far as importance
his
compared to
girlfriend now?
everyone else, no, it's a regular.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
because they live in Louisiana now, so it's just one of the people that live in the town.
I loved him in Excalibur. He was like, I collected the Excalibur run.
Is that when he started fencing a lot?
Yes.
Or he
Yeah.
always
And
had
actually
that
he
in
always
him?
has though. That's the whole thing though. He always had. They just ended up. It's okay. We're all used to it now.
But yeah, man, like even now, it's alright. He's gone. He's all good. Even now, man, they don't use him, and even here they got rid of him. Will he come back? Sure. I mean, they already said they got multiple seasons planned, but
So do you remember it?
Hold
And they
on,
would do this in. I'll hit it in a second.
yeah, I got it. You got it. Just hit up this first, guy.
All right. One also that whole Rainbow Initiative of DC Lanterns, like directly to the wokeness in movies and titles. What's gonna get real? What's gonna get real? It's back. What storyline turns the tide to? What storyline turns the tide back to hardcore original stories and arcs?
That's you're a DC guy, Joe. You answer that.
Wait. Somebody's outside. Did you hear that screaming? What's gonna reel it back? I don't know because here's the sad part. They've introduced more colors into this.
When he means colors, what do you mean? He means the rings.
So you have indigo, red, yellow, orange, and orange is only Larfleeze. He won't let anybody else become one. He can create his own corpse, but he won't let anybody have one. Star Sapphire is
pink, right?
Pink. I want to say there's a purple one, but I can't remember where the purple ones are right now because I wasn't prepared for someone to mention all the colors. There's white and Ion, i.e., or previously known as Kyle Rayner, is that one. There's, and I forgot and actually the newest color, Guy Gardner, is the newest color. I just don't remember the color right now. I apologize. So if anyone knows it, they can say it in the comments. Oh, actually, what also, since you said you collect all of them, right back at you. What's the new color for Guy Gardner? The thing, it got confusing, honestly, when they started doing all the colors. I have like
But
after Blackest
you
Night,
want to know
Brightest
confusing?
Day.
Read Al Ewing's Absolute Green Lantern. Bro, I love it. It's a sci-fi feel to it. It's more sci-fi compared to all the other ones, but you should get into it one day.
We
I
will.
think
And
you would
listen, we
enjoy
will.
it.
I
But
think we'll on the
it's
comics. We're gonna stick
bro. It's
until
like
I
Al
start.
Ewing is purposely trying to confuse everyone because in the books, the rings it's like the titles are just titles, but here everyone has a title, but it's so in depth. Like who is the red lantern that looks like
Tronicus.
no, I'm sorry, not a red lantern. He looks like a bird. The character. What's his fucking?
Larfleeze, orange.
Is that Larfleeze? The guy he's got like he looks like a bird, really?
Yeah, like
That's not
yeah.
what they call him though, is it? I don't know, whatever. Like he wasn't chosen. He got the powers accidentally. What do you call those Green Lanterns that are like that? Because the Green Lantern here in this book, Joe, she got hers like this very similar. Oh man, I can't believe I forgot this fucking. Anyway, whatever. What I'm trying to say is a lot of titles. Really confusing. It's not a book where you could read month to month. It's better to wait for Trey. It's really fucking deep, man.
Oh wait, he replied. It's chromatic or something. Yeah, it's again. I don't listen. I don't. The thing is, you start creating when they started creating all these other colors. I truly started, not for the wokeness part. I just started losing some interest in it, just because it took, the. Hold on. This guy's on pop up. Chromatic spectrovision. What's that? Well, actually, if you're
how, I mean, no, it's a guy. That's
guys. Oh, okay. But when they started just doing all these colors, then they started doing, I forgot. I think one other storyline was like basically all the different colors were all in battle with each other. It is just it's almost as if creatively they just said, all right, let's just keep creating more colors, and we now have a new team of different colors that are going to be fighting, and it strayed the corpse for me a little bit straight away, because they used to deal with other stuff besides what was just in the colors of the rainbow.
Yeah.
But let's try to wrap up X-Men so we can go into Wonder Woman.
I mean, I'm good with X-Men.
No.
All right, I'm gonna say this. Let me just to reel it back. I was disappointed. I didn't like the direction they went in. That whole Gambit Apocalypse thing it fell flat for me. But what I did really like is the little end scene with Mystique, where it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a political storyline going
I
into
can
the
answer
next
that
season.
one for you.
So I'm glad. Tell me what's next? What are you hoping to get into, and what are you excited for? Because I love Mystique, the comic version, not the movie version.
Hopefully they're not going to rush through and use other storylines and comic books and just put them in one episode and do it like that. But with Mystique killing Val and basically taking Val's form, you might get Freedom Force, because Freedom Force was Avalanche. They were all villains, similar to Thunderbolts. Before Thunderbolts, Freedom Force was around, which worked for the government, but under Mystique's ulterior motives. So I think we're going to now get Mystique being the center point of the villain for next season.
Same voice
actor. And once she finds out that Nightcrawler is dead, her son, she's going to be pissed off at the X-Men.
But she dumped him though. But
the thing is with her character, everybody has always said that. Her character, the emotional part, except for Destiny is the only person who she's had the emotional part to.
That's it. Yeah,
and even then, it's always been at a cost, and she's kept Destiny at a distance. And at the point that she, wanted to make Destiny, like everybody know, Destiny got killed. So Mystique has always kept those closest to her the furthest from her. That's how her character's always been. She did that to Rogue, to all of them. and it's because it's probably the ones that she cares for. But if she keeps them close, they're gonna die. And after Mystique died, she's really shut down at that point.
Yeah.
So I think Val Cooper is going to get rid of X-Force. She's going to introduce Freedom Force, and you'll get Avalanche,
who's on the team,
Pyro,
Joe?
Blob.
Blob, yeah, bring it back. That's the
Who the
Brotherhood
fuck-
of
There's one
Mutants
more.
right
There
there,
was
isn't it?
one more.
Sauron? No, not Sauron. Who was it?
Damn it! Who's it? Fuck. There's one more, but they were they worked for
Toad, right?
Toad. they worked for the government in the comics.
Wasn't Sauron in that group though? Freedom Force?
Damn it! I want to say he was.
I think so. I remember that cover. That's a Rob Liefeld cover with Toad.
I
and
want to say he was.
Pyro,
Well, no, this was
Sauron.
like that was before.
Oh, that's New
Liefeld, all
Mutants
them.
era. Oh, okay.
No, like they were introduced either in X Factor or I want to say damn it, check. When just do Freedom Force or
I got
Mystique.
you. Got it. Good talk. I got it.
But yeah, no, like I said, the only good part at the end was now Mystique is going to become center point. The thing is, when you introduce a character that is so powerful, i.e., Apocalypse being your antagonist for the season, what it took away was the fact that the X-Men, the whole season was just X teams fighting each other.
Here we go, Joe.
That.
I got you. Wait, say what?
If you didn't peep that the whole season was just X teams fighting against each other.
I caught that.
That's what I didn't like about it.
So it's Mystique. It's
and Destiny was part of it.
Destiny,
Yes.
Pyro, Avalanche, Blob. That's it.
All right. But yeah,
So you had them right.
Yeah. All right. So they'll be introduced.
Oh, Spiral came in a little after. It looks like. Oh, this gets deep. Jessica Drew was involved in it. I love Spider-Woman. Jessica Drew has the best hair in comics, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
They went like a pool table and tried to
I
switch
should
the balls
have.
to the
I'm
stripes
sorry.
and
I apologize, guys. On our other show, Rick does the comments, and I'm gonna be doing these, and Rick has to sometimes remind me. And I have a tendency, I read them in my head, and I realize I have to read them out loud. So I'll do the next slide. I got this. There was also an A-Force. A-Force. Oh, it's really funny.
Chat me up, Joe. Who's the A-Force?
We'll go into Absolute Wonder Woman after. One of the most hated scenes in Avengers Endgame was when A-Force came into play.
Who's A-Force?
And that sucks. A-Force is it was actually so in the comic. It's the woman. It's basically it's A-Force. Wait. Oh no. I'm thinking about isn't that what they call the female Avengers?
I've never heard of female Avengers, bro.
Yeah, there is a female. Yeah, no, there was.
I'm not saying you're lying. I just personally don't know.
I don't know if it
never
was
heard of
A-Force. He threw me off when he said A-Force, but I was thinking, unless he meant to say X. But in there was a team of female Avengers, and they were done in. It's fucked up. Team of Avengers, dude.
I'm gonna look this up now. I never heard it. All right, guys, Joe, talk.
Look it up. Look it up. There was a female version of the Avengers.
Oh, is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. And there were A-Force.
All right. A-Force is a comic book series published by Marvel. Debuted in May. Blah blah blah. Oh, this is 2000. Actually, I wasn't reading during this time. I quit books for a while. So yeah. Let's see who is in there. Members, see below. All right, so we got Captain Marvel, Medusa, She-Hulk, Nico Minoru. I love Nico. I love Dazzler. Thor. All right, that's still Dazzler. So that's it. That's the only characters.
But they tried to do they gave it an homage in Endgame by having Pepper.
I remember that. Yeah.
That scene. Everybody went,
hated
A-Force. So. Dude, that was like,
shit! Hold on.
People shat on that scene just because you got the female guys. Come on, and you're shitting on the first. Here's the worst part: you're shitting on a team of hot women. Like
I love chicks, bro.
Y'all don't want to. So here's the weird part,
You're never
guys.
gonna see me
I just want to say. So, you'd rather see a team of men in tights as opposed to a team of women. Coming from someone who likes both, I would like to see a team of women. I don't mind the men in tights, but you know what? I want to see some
You know
girls.
what it is though? I guess it's how
I'm
it's
sorry, not girls,
portrayed.
so women.
It's how it's portrayed though. If you got a whole team full of women, and the whole agenda is like, oh, we're so much better than men, then I could see
It
how people
wasn't
could.
that. It
No,
wasn't
I know,
that.
I know. I'm not
Oh,
saying it is, but I could see how some people be like, oh, come on. But
I know,
if
but it
it's not
wasn't.
that, and it's just there's a reason for this all female team, I don't know. I mean, that don't
They
bother
just.
me.
I think,
I never heard of this till now. That's crazy.
All Endgame wanted to do was just give a small little homage
Nah,
to
yeah, 'cause
a.
that
That's
was
it.
one
That,
scene where
that's
they all
yeah.
just got together, and that was it.
But
It
I
didn't
will
like
tell
that
you right
was a whole
now,
movie, right?
look it up. Look when we're done. Now, right now, look it up and go look up the hate for A Force and Endgame, and you will see that it's the one scene that most, and it's
Brrrah,
sad that
brrrah.
people just sat there and just fucking shat on all over that. All right, let's go ahead and get into Absolute Wonder Woman.
All right, let's talk about this.
All right.
Absolute Wonder Woman, Last Amazon. I fucking love this book. This was the second. No, was it? Yes, this came out after Absolute Batman. I want to say, or it was either. It was the first three.
No,
Either I don't know what came out. I
I,
don't know if it was Superman or this first. I
I
don't. I'll
think it
be
was
honest.
I think it was Superman, Batman, and then Wonder
No,
Woman.
no, Batman was the first one.
All right, so then Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
1000. So I don't remember what came after Batman. It was either Batman.
The
oh, it was
Trinity. You're gonna
Yeah,
always
it
have
was
the
either
Trinity.
Superman or Wonder Woman, one of the two. But it's Kelly Thompson is the writer. Hayden Sherman is the main artist. They had some really good fill-in artists along the way. Jordi Belair is the colorist. Jordi Belair is fucking awesome in everything she does. And Becca Carey is the letterer. I always throw in the letterers in her. Am I the only one that if a book has terrible lettering, I'm so like uninvested? I don't like bad. I like clean
So,
lettering.
oh
I
my
don't like
God.
sloppy lettering
Please
or
don't say
tiny
that.
fonts.
So here's the thing. Don't, because the thing is, after I read this, I read a couple more chapters of Crisis, and you can tell it's the old school hand
Yeah.
lettering. It
Yeah.
still is clear, but I was like,
It's still a hand now though.
this is so.
but
It doesn't seem like the thing is you can see like the dot dot dot.
no,
like
no. The difference is no. Back then they were probably writing on actual paper. Now they write on the tablets and stuff.
screen.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No,
So
that's
it's
what I mean.
smoother. Yeah. But it's not like a
Yeah.
computer doing it. But I'm big into lettering. I think Moon Knight.
Hold on before you keep going, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
also, all those fools that boo in the theater and chat rooms also turned the lights out and blocked your search history, so the goon, so they can.
Yeah, I
goon
never
to scene
understood
and
that
still-
shit. I never
And
understood
you know what?
that.
You're probably right, because there's a scene where you get all the women just stand there, and you're like,
They hate the women, but then they'll watch pornography. Like, oh,
No, he's talking about like they'll pause it on that scene to check out all the
Yeah,
girls.
well, that's my
Yeah.
point though. They love
Yeah,
women,
like-
but they don't like them in positions of power.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you can't be a superhero. But yeah,
You
go-
can't
go
win
ahead.
them all.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway, yeah. So lettering is big on me. I love clean lettering that's just bold and it adds so much to the book. So anyway, all right, Joe. Like I always do, I read this. I'll be honest, I didn't get a chance to reread it, so my memory is not. I've read 20 plus issues of this and every other Absolute book, so I might not be the most knowledgeable right now. But I'm glad you just read it. But I'm gonna tell you overall thoughts on the first volume. I think there's 7 issues packed into this one. So give us your overall thoughts to begin with.
So when you started telling me about the changes that they were doing to Diana, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little iffy on it.
Well, let's
was
talk
like,
about that. Yeah, talk about it.
well, you were telling me how she was raised in hell, and that she does magic, and she does, and I'm like, damn, this bitch is already strong enough. Like, we're gonna like do all this. Like,
I can see that. Yeah.
I don't know, like, really at this point, because here's the thing: one of Superman's weaknesses is magic. So we've essentially in the Absolute Universe made Wonder Woman stronger than Superman, because Superman's powers, his weakness is magic. So I was like, and then I read it, and the same thing with Batman. It was just another fresh take, dude. I can't wait to dive into Superman now. I was gonna stack all the books here, but I think he might have locked off right now, because I told him around the comic parts, you don't have to be on. But I also got Absolute Martian Manhunter, the whole collection. So I can't wait to get into these because
No.
it's a fresh take.
You want to? Oh, that book. Oh boy, you better smoke a nice fucking. You better hit that fucking pipe when you read Absolute Manager. Let me tell you,
But
that's just
shot?
trippy. Shot.
I heard you pouring. I heard you. I just you heard
There's
the
a
crack of the
comment.
beer. I heard
Hit
you.
a comment while we do the shot.
No, we're good. Oh no.
Oh, never mind.
got that
You put
one.
it. Oh yeah. You know what
Yeah.
it is when you put it. I'm so used to. Anyway, go ahead. So good. So
But yeah, so I liked the way that these changes occurred and done. It was well thought out, and you can see that this wasn't all right, so we're gonna create Wonder Woman and we're gonna do this. No, it's like a layered, thought out process in changing a character that has been the same for decades. Um, again, if this is your first time watching, I collected for many years, then I stopped, and then I started collecting again, and then I stopped, and I stopped, unfortunately, when Wonder Woman started becoming a part of Justice League Dark, because now they started taking her character. She became the leader of Justice League Dark. Also, somebody else took over, and she listened to other people, but it started putting her more into the supernatural, the magic. She was already involved with the gods, but this just expanded her character more into the dark part of the universe that involves the magic. So somebody already started doing that, but they now made the character itself be able to do magic. Wonder Woman hasn't been able to do that. The fucking lassos are awesome. I love that the fact that we don't have a lasso of truth. So because I said I've only done 1 through 7 in that book. So it's just Nemesis and don't tell me yet the other one. Hold on. Nemesis. Sacrifice. Those are the only 2 lassos I've seen so far. So hold on. I'm gonna do that since it's all right. No warning tap, no courtesy spit. How about a heads up for the shots or SFX for it?
oh, we
Be
got
right
you
back.
next
Let me
time.
crack
We
a-
got
all
you. We
right.
got you the next time. We got you. You know what? Before we do the shot next time, let me
We'll
see
tell
what I
everybody
got.
we're gonna do a shot.
We're gonna do this. Shit, it didn't work. What the fuck? Look at you.
But yeah, no, I love the changes in the character. I had told you that as I was reading it, I'm like, damn, this fucked up.
Well,
They
explain to us right now. Why is she? Well, why are the changes
Oh,
prevalent?
all right.
Yeah,
So what happened was that she was not raised in Themyscira.
Oh.
At this point, the Amazon pissed off Zeus, and Zeus, who's always been a cruel god, basically, excuse me, I was trying to hold that burp in.
Basically, fuck was.
Basically,
pal.
was gonna punish the Amazons, and Apollo showed up and brought Diana as an infant to Circe, who is now in what is it? The
So she's in
Isle.
hell. Yeah.
Circe in the
The
Isle.
Wild
well, no,
Owl.
the Wild Isle. So you don't get to know what it was yet, because remember, you've been reading it longer. What the Amazons did to have pissed off Zeus.
I'm trying so hard not to spoil things for you.
So,
because I know
I
all
know.
these answers.
So, and then you got the fact that Apollo decreed that no one can say Amazon, but you got her, who she still feels that word and who she is, to say Amazon.
Yeah.
So
She
I
don't know yet,
like
yeah.
I like that the way that the fact that the gods here are still, even with the George Perez line, the gods had always been cruel. I mean, they were never, they gave power, they gave favorite to people, but at the same time they've always done things for their own personal gain. It's never really been for somebody else. And the one thing I will say is seeing them punish Circe by raising Diana, one of her, like, literally, I think it's the name of her gallery is shit. It's infinity something. It'll come to me. But there, she herself has a gallery, and Cersei is in there, making her be the one that has to raise her. If the Cersei of Prime Earth found out that in another universe she raised and taught Wonder Woman to be who she is, she would be fucking pissed. She would go into that universe and kill that Cersei for having done that. You know, like I thought, and it's like, so last night as I'm reading it, I had messaged Rick and I go, the gods are cruel. And as I get to the end of the like towards the end of the storyline,
literally in print,
you have Barbara going, the gods are cruel. So I screenshot that to go like, and that's the whole thing though. When I, at least anytime I read Wonder Woman is tied to Greece, to the Olympian gods, to the Titans. So I had always loved mythology, which is one of the reasons I love Wonder Woman, is because she's tied to the Greek mythologies and all these stories of all these gods and the powers that they can do, you know, and seeing them. Hades reminded me of from Doom Patrol, Mr. Help me out here, Rick.
Mr. What? Mr. Oh,
Doom Patrol series.
God, I got this Funko Pop right
Mr.
there,
Impossible?
Mr.
No.
No. Yeah.
Mr.
Not Mr. Negative. No. Mr. Gaunt.
You know what I'm talking about.
Mr. Gaunt's on the max. What the fuck?
It's something. I know. Damn it.
Anyway, I know what you're talking about. Go.
This Hades reminded me of that character from the Doom Patrol.
Mr. Nobody. There you go.
Mr. Nobody. And he's not introduced until issues 6 and 7. But for the first 5, I'm gonna admit that at first I was not a fan of the artwork, but just the more I read on, the artwork actually, I love the artwork.
Bro, the paneling, bro.
Yeah.
And it gets better. The paneling is up there at my top 5 artists with their paneling. Bro, you have seen nothing yet.
So now you say this because I forgot that you had said this. I had told Rick, and I'm gonna, only reason I want to bring it up now is so that way as we keep doing these episodes, if I am right, it's just gonna help me out. I'm telling me that I'm right. I told Rick, you know, you have the absolute universe and you're going to have an absolute crisis, or you're going to have crisis in absolute universe, because you have these characters. Apocalypse created this whole universe. One of Apocalypse's biggest nemesis is the Anti-Monitor. In some of the other storylines, the two have battled it out. So Apocalypse creating another universe when Anti-Monitor absorbs planets and universes, i.e. kind of like Galactus.
Hold on, Joe. If that shit happens, I swear to God.
So I just want to say, in the one of the first issues, before she fights Tetratide, Harbingers show up.
Yep.
Harbingers show up, right? One of them was called Harbinger Prime. In Crisis on Infinite Earths, you have the character Harbinger from Earth Prime. So that was a nod to that. Then, as I was reading that, because I wanted...
Oh, now Joe's... Now he's showing us the evidence. Now, man, Joe's...
I know, and I'm trying to... I should have... Hold on.
It's weird saying sour is Joe. Look at Joe.
But
he don't turn his head, like, he turns his whole body. Look.
Stop it. So as I was messaging Rick last night, I told him, dude, I think I got the first hint for Crisis by saying Harbinger Prime.
That's what it was. Okay, so that's your
the
hint.
first one. So in issue 4, one of the, because you talked about panels, is this panel here. These 2 panels. I sent you the copy. You have it. When we're done with this, I want you to look it up. Get your Crisis on Infinite Earths, because we're going to be reading that. So if you see this first panel here, that's Anti-Monitor. This second panel here, that's the Monitor. It's their silhouettes.
I swear.
When I saw that, when I'm like, look, and the thing is, I was reading it and my eyes caught the panel. And I go,
send it to me.
Oh shit!
Because you're the first person that I know that had brought that up. That's interesting. Here's the thing. Send it to me.
the Spectre, damn it, I can't. The thing is, magic is something to do with the whole thing to help out on Crisis. I'm trying not to ruin Crisis because you haven't read the whole thing yet.
No.
But when I saw that, I'm like, oh, it's right here. Literally, in Wonder Woman is
What issue
being
was that
lined
one?
up
That picture?
to issue 4.
Okay.
Because it says chapter 4.
It's
So,
4, yeah.
all right, so issue 4. When I saw that, I go, that's the silhouette of the Anti-Monitor. And then I went and got my book, and I put the book down, and I put the other one down, and I'm like, holy fuck. I mean, I might be reading too much into it, but definitely check that out. Hold on here. We got a comment here. Arthur Itas, Ali G, and Kumar, AM Starstruck, off at 2 stream Gremlins 2. I love Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2 is so underrated. I love how like Joe and Tante only did that movie because he's like, I'll do it, but you have to let me just do whatever the fuck I want. And he went so meta, and that's one of the first meta movies to come out.
I
Plus,
love
look
when
at Hulk Hogan in the fucking theater.
I love when the smart one drinks the toxin, and then he comes up. He's like, well, let me just tell you how we are going to do.
He turned to Fraser Crane all of a sudden.
Oh my god, it was like all his words were all clear. Like I love Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2 is a fucking.
He was very
awesome
fastidious.
he was one of the best characters in there. But getting back to Wonder Woman, so and that like and I'm now even more, especially as I read on the rest of these.
You missed this one.
Damn it, I didn't see there was a second one. Sorry. At one also, everything you just said is on the big screen in Snyder's cut, and on the OG Wonder Woman is the first in the attacking line, either bosses. Yes, they always have been.
Mm-hmm.
They always they always have been. So going forward, because now I'm going to grab my Absolute Batman and see if I can pick up on those Easter eggs.
If you want to see
if they're-
Easter eggs, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna say what it is, but the first major Easter egg about what's happening is an Absolute Martian Manhunter.
All right, because and the other part is that in the book, I don't think that Tetrotide was who they were hinting to.
No, I don't think so. No.
So
no.
it Harbinger is there to like basically tell them that something is coming. So that's why where I thought that. But anyway, so going back to Absolute Wonder Woman. As I'm reading it, I then message you, dude. She lost her arm.
She's an amputee hero,
dude, and it
sacrificed
makes sense
her arm too.
because as I was reading the comic, and I mean, listen, I read, but I also. So when I read a comic book, everybody is different. I turn to the page, I scan both pages, I then read.
Oh, you're that guy. Oh,
and,
no. Why would you do that?
I go through everything because I want to pick up on everything.
But that gives away what's happening if you go.
I don't flip over. Like I go. Like I make sure to divulge.
When I turn the page, I make sure I do not look at the other page. I start at the very top and I.
No. Oh no!
I don't want no spoilers, bro.
No. What I'm just trying to say, at every turn of the page, I do everything. I like literally want. Because you don't know what you're gonna miss.
Yeah.
It's not just. It's not.
I got you.
I don't.
I go back and I do all that once I'm done with the whole story.
No, like I read both pages and then I look back just to see if I missed anything before I turn the page. And that's why I'm saying, like, when I caught the outline of the Anti-Monitor and the Monitor, and actually, as I turned the page, that's the first thing I actually caught was these outlines. Then I'm like, these are weird outlines.
I wouldn't have caught that, so that's pretty cool. I gotta go.
And
back
then as I'm looking, because I couldn't keep reading because the outlines were driving me nuts. And I then took the book and put it further away, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. I could be wrong. And listen, if I'm wrong, great. But if all these writers, I would love for writers all to work together, especially if there's going to be some type of event, so that way they've all decided where they're gonna put little eggs in there. But when I saw that, I'm like, oh, Absolute Wonder Woman is gonna be a big role in Absolute Crisis.
Bro. She's so good.
She's gonna be the big.
Let me ask you this, the final question, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll wait for you to pick up whatever you drop.
That just fell. Sorry.
What's your favorite moment out of this arc?
When she turned into Medusa.
Oh, by the way, wait a minute.
So by the way, and here's
Hold
another
on,
part.
wait,
is that because,
was
hold
the
on.
absolute annual part of this?
No.
You said there's 7 issues.
Issues 1 through 7.
You sure it wasn't 1 through 6 and then the annual? No, it can't be. Cause annual was 12.
No.
Because there was Medusa played a big part in the okay. All right,
So the reason with Medusa is because you get introduced to Barbara Minerva's character, and I still don't know unless I missed it, I don't know exactly what she does. But her character should always be somehow involved with knowledge. The old Barbara Minerva was an archaeologist.
She's archaeologist.
Okay.
She's an archaeologist in this too.
All right. So hence that means that she would understand history and stuff like that. So when you had the scene where she comes out and she goes Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman turns around, I want to believe, because after that was when she then fights Tetracide and uses sacrifice to become Medusa, is the fact that Barbara Minerva was the one that told her, hey, so Medusa has the ability, if you stare into her eyes, for somebody to turn into stone, just to remind you, and gave Diana the idea into turning into Medusa for that fight. I could be wrong. You've read it.
Bro, no, you're right. You know,
I could be wrong.
I don't want to say too much,
but because I want to say that Barbara, that they omitted something, because it's weird that she would just see it and go, oh fuck, and then go run and say Wonder Woman. You know, she talks to her, and then they cut to the battle. I feel like something was omitted there, and I feel like that's where Barbara had said, "You're fighting so and so. You know, if you had the ability of Medusa to have the stare, you can turn it to stone," and that's why Diana knew to use the sacrifice lasso to become Medusa to be able to stop him.
That's so cool.
You're smiling, and I want to feel
I know
like
what's
I
coming.
fucking see. The way you're smiling is the
you
fact
know what
that
it is too. You mentioned Medusa, and it reminded me of. I think you're gonna get it in the second volume. The annual was one of my favorite stories from the Wonder Woman. It's so fucking good, and I will say that Batman, even though Batman is my favorite absolute title, but my favorite character in all of, and I'm reading all of it, is Diana. I think she's my favorite.
I will tell you,
she is so likable. She's heroic. She is so loyal. She is not selfish. She's so pure, but she kicks so much ass. And the fact that she does conjure up magical spells, but it makes sense, especially as you read further along.
Hold on. Have you tried to figure out the spells? Have you looked?
What the fuck? Try on myself? What do you mean figure them out?
The way that they're all right.
Oh,
so
yeah. No,
Zatanna, you have to read it backwards.
Yeah.
Have you tried to figure out what the spells are by reading what they're saying? Like, have you? Because I was trying last night.
No.
Oh, I was trying.
No.
I was so I'm like, damn it! I want it because Zatanna, like I said, you can read. You have to read the script backwards.
Yeah, of course. Well, Zatanna, yeah, you gotta read her shit. I love Zatanna. That's the one thing. Let me read this shit. What up, P Rockzilla? What up, son? What's good, P Rock? Yeah, man. So I'll end it with that. I'm glad you read this one, and I think that you're gonna love where it goes even more, because just like Batman, this book just keeps getting better and better and better, and it's just so damn good. And Diana is my favorite comic book character in all of comic book, not just here, all of comic books. She's so pure. How can you not like this? She puts everyone before her own self, and she kicks ass. She's a witch. She is a witch. She trust me, and you'll see more of that as we go along. So check your trash and spam. That's for P Rock right there. P Rock, yo, one else been looking for you, bro. What time you guys started today? At 7:00.
7.
7's our normal time. We did
hold
8
on.
last couple of times, but 7's the regular spot.
All right. P-Rock, check your text.
Hit the bell too. Hit the bell, son.
Check your text. Or, yes, everybody, make sure to hit subscribe.
That's right. Yeah.
Hit subscribe, hit like on the episode. So make
Joe
sure to
has
do
a
that.
special yeah, that's right. Joe has a special group chat that he sends all the links to.
Yeah,
Are you telling
so-
me P-Rock is on that list?
Yeah, he should be. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't. I could be wrong. Anyway, but
Anyway, all right, Joe. I will say this.
So the other part.
You finish and then I'll
One of the parts is that I liked at the end of this run that they introduced Veronica Cale.
Oh man.
Because she is one of Wonder Woman's biggest nemesis,
Mhm.
and she doesn't have any powers.
No, none.
She's the female Maxwell Lord, and she's actually worse than Maxwell.
You know what you need
Lord,
to
I will tell you
read?
right now.
I don't know if it's part of any trade or not, but you have to read Absolute Evil, because what that book is a
Oh,
one
yeah,
shot.
yeah.
It's a one shot. You read that?
I'm gonna get it.
It's
I
a
saw
one
that
shot.
today.
What it does is it takes all the villains from each Absolute book, and they practically come together to become this one big villain team.
What else?
Who's this Arthur asshole? Arthur Curry? Who you talking about? Where's the blue wrench shield? Arthur. Bro, I'm not that nice. What the fuck? Anyway,
Yeah, I'm not.
while you look for that, I will say,
But I like.
Joe.
I like. Well, the other thing is that Veronica Cale's character is she's a millionaire. She's fucking smart as shit. Like she's not financially but technology. She's smart. But
Did you
she's
get
never
Dr.
been
Poison?
hold up. She's never been in a position of power. And in Absolute Batman, she's in the White House. This is gonna fucking make Veronica Cale dangerous.
Yes.
In the other
I'm glad
stuff,
you
she's
brought that up
never been
because-
this high up to have and she's the fucking the Secretary of National Security. Veronica Cale, oh my god. Yeah.
She's a problem, bro. Trust me.
She's a problem.
bro. I was gonna say that. Yeah. I think you need to. I don't know when you want to do it, but I do recommend getting everything absolute. Martian Manhunter.
I'm saying right now. As we're doing for our channel right now. I want to stick to the absolute. I will tell you guys. I will say in about a year's timeline, I'm fully getting into the comics. I'm not getting into personal.
What's
shit.
nice about
But
absolute
I'm
is
just
that
saying, we're doing
You
absolute.
can start fresh. Anyone.
I've already got literally. I messaged Rick after we finished.
No more drunk
recording.
purchasing, Joe. Please.
After we finished recording our Horror Fiend TV
This fucking
episode
guy
on
spends
Thursday,
like $200 every time he
I
drinks.
messaged him. I'm like, oh no, dude, I just finished doing some drunk. So I've already pre-ordered. So I have up there that will be on our next episode, which is volume 2 of Absolute Wonder Woman. But I have volume 3 of Superman,
What do you mean
Batman,
volume 1? You don't have
and
Superman
Wonder
1.
Woman. No, already have the
1 through-
pre-orders
Oh.
of the other volumes that are
Mhm.
coming up.
Before we go, I will say I will say
Well, hold
when
on.
you had
Joe hit the maximum Looney Tunes. They, damn it, this guy sucks. I don't mean sucks in a bad way. Suffering, Thuckathash. Well, by the way,
All
it's
right,
duck,
Joe,
it's
but
duck
what-
season.
hold on, my boy, not part of so-called chat.
All right. Well, we'll figure out a way to tell you, P-Rock, when we're gonna jump on.
It's not the family chat. I thought you had. All right, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought he had a chat just for people like you, JR, and stuff.
No,
I
it's
didn't
all
mean the
good.
family chat. I didn't mean that.
It's all good.
There you go. All right, man. So Joe, let's wrap this up, man. So
We are not going to be back next week. We're actually going to be back in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, we'll dive into Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 2. We'll do Lanterns episodes 2 and 3.
That's right. 2 is tonight.
Yep. So make sure after tonight. But yeah, hit that like, guys. I mean, This is fun. I love talking comics. I finally.
We don't get to do it often. That's the thing.
It's just you and me after we
My
sign
man
off.
got by the way, you see Jay Garrick back there. I was gonna tell you too. Absolute Flash. This latest issue, I fucking loved it. Do you know who's you know somebody by the name of Hunter Zolomon?
Yeah. Professor Zoom.
He's here.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
No, like I said, I'm down. I'm down until I get to the point where. Oh, actually,
What are you
really
gonna
quick,
do when you catch up,
Actually,
Joe?
honestly, really quick, do you have any new comics you want to highlight this week before we?
I don't have anything on me right now.
All right. I just want to make sure we didn't
No,
just
no,
bounce out
I-
on
if I'm,
that. But
no, I'm gonna highlight a book. It's gonna be the Absolute Flash. And also Absolute Green Arrow, which is it just got renewed from 6 issues to 12 because it's selling like hotcakes. That's a hard. This issue here, Joe. When I tell you when they advertised Absolute Green Arrow as a horror book, I was okay. I see it's violent. This issue 3, I believe it is. This is where the horror comes. A body horror like a motherfucker. I'm talking about pure, gross, violent, pervasive horror, bro. And Hector Hammond is one of the antagonists, which he started in the Absolute Green Lantern. That's where he debuted. He was there. So I'm like now in the Flash, Brainiac had a little cameo. So now the people are starting to cross over slowly, and that's what I like. They're not doing it in your face right away. Slowly now, all the characters are trying to go from one absolute title to the next. So now the world is feeling like, oh my god. Now it feels like the world. Yeah. So.
Either
All
of you
right.
Hoosiers have graded Batman 462 or Amazing Spider?
No, I don't have. I only got one graded comic book, and it's behind me right there. I don't have any graded. I don't buy any graded books, to be honest with you. I got that off of a mystery box.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't. If I get into graded books, that's another wormhole I don't want to get into, man.
So I came in out of the smoke before the new episode of Lanterns, so I will restart once you guys. And
Cool.
definitely check it out. Like I said, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and we'll cover...
our Sunday show is gonna be at 7 P-Rock or anyone else. So that's before we did 8 because certain situations with me I couldn't do it at 7, but now we're gonna be back to our regularly scheduled programming on Sunday. Our live streams will be at 7. Joe, we're gonna be dropping non-live content too. Remind me when is the first episode gonna drop and where?
So next week, next Sunday is the first episode of Comic Cult Classics. Rick and I have come up with, we're basically going back and forth with movies that we love, not just that we love, but our classics essentially. Cult classics. We're starting with Heather's. And Rick, what was yours? I'm sorry, I know you were sipping at that moment.
Big Trouble in Little China.
That will be followed after.
Everyone knows Big Trouble.
So yes, so make sure you lick it up, baby. Lick it up.
Lick it up.
Because we're going to be dropping Heather's next week. And then after that, we'll be back live where we discuss Lanterns, Absolute Wonder Woman, Volume 2. And we'll see what else in pop culture.
Yeah, no X-Men, so we'll find something. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right, Joe, any last words?
No, man, I'm glad we're back.
Excelsior! Oh, I hit the mic. You see that? Did you hear that?
I did hear it.
I try to be cool, and I always fail. But with that being said, everybody pick up a comic book, read comics. They're so good. And Joe, one last thing I wanted to bring up to you, though, Joe. I like that shirt, bro. Stand up. Oh, yeah. Is that new? I've never seen you wear that shirt.
I wanted to make sure to wear it today because we were talking about Green Lantern, who has been around as long as Superman has.
Oh, by the way, I'm glad you brought that up. I was trying to get into this earlier, but I didn't want to fuck you up. Absolute Superman, the difference with that is, think about reading a Superman comic where he is not as strong or as experienced yet. He's still flawed. So
he's gonna punch somebody's face in by accident.
So that's what's so good about this book is that he's not your typical guy.
You didn't even answer me because I Am I gonna see him accidentally punch somebody's
I don't
face
want to.
in?
I don't want to say yes or no. Anyway, we got any comments you want to give before we
Hold
leave?
on.
Nothing?
I feel we got some stay
Stay
cool
cool.
spotters.
What the fuck's a spotter? Am I too
I
old
don't
to know
know.
what that shit is, bro? I
No,
feel
like when I
old.
think of spotter, I feel like somebody who's shat on their shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
Whip.
I
We'll
understood that.
whip you next time. One also.
All right, guys. Everyone stay healthy. Read books. Drink some beer. If you don't drink beer, drink water. I don't know. But Joe, take us home, brother.
We are out.